Honey, I'll be up in a minute. Oh, hey there, Tilcon, New York. And hopefully everybody had a good week. This is the 5th week and final week of National Safety Month. And it's the last week we're going to talk through lockout, tag out, try out. And this week it talks and the focus is on close proximity maintenance. So please, by all means, listen up. And then next week we'll probably have a refresher of of the whole lockout, tag out program. Well, this week we're coming upon the 4th of July weekend. Great time. You know, a lot of people have fireworks. As I mentioned before, I'm not a big fireworks kind of fan. I think it should be left to the professionals. But, you know, for those of you that do partake, please make sure you do it safely. Keep it away from any kind of structure, and please make sure there are no kids around. And then, you know, in this great country of ours, you know, we have the freedom. Not like a lot of countries around the world. You know, we are blessed with that freedom. And a lot of people died, men and women have died over the years, over the last couple of centuries, to provide us with that freedom. So let's make sure we celebrate all the freedom that we have in this country, all the great liberties that are there for us. And then, you know, make sure you thank a vet. You know, guys that have been through the wars and have fought for and given their lives for our country. Next week, we're going to start a 2-part series. You know, we have an established environmental health and safety management system. So I'm going to break it down. We have 8 elements, so I'm going to break it down into 4 elements per week. So we'll start that next week when we come back. You know, this week I want to talk about a serious matter. I want to talk about stress. You know, everybody handles stress in a different way. Now, we've been dealing with a lot of stress probably the last 3 to 4 months. Even though we seem like we're coming out of this, we're really not. You know, we're not there, and we're not going to be there for a long time. So people have stresses over their jobs, over this COVID-19, you know, your family, your kids, maybe the bills are adding up. I mean, there's a lot of things that go on with that. And what ends up happening is, you know, some people don't know how to handle stress very well, and they don't know how to reach out, even though. So we had a young individual in, you know, in the CRH family that took their own life over the last week or so. And it was very saddening and very disheartening to me, you know, because I've dealt with that before. You know, in 2019, there was greater than 2.5 million calls to the suicide prevention hotline. So there is hope. There is hope for everybody. So, you know, people that unfortunately check out leave not only their family behind, but they leave us. They leave us as a family as well. So I'm going to tell you 2 stories, 2 personal stories that affected my life. I got married at the age of 17, and I was married for about 33 years. And you know, after 33 years of marriage, I was about 50 years old, and my wife decided that it wasn't right for her anymore. So that's the short end of the story. But the bottom line is that I was having a tough time kind of getting things going. You know what I mean? I couldn't focus on my job. I couldn't focus on things that I like to do. And the kicker for me, or the final straw, was that I went to pass somebody on a double yellow line, and I almost had a head-on collision, and it scared the hell out of me. You know, that I almost did that to myself and almost did that to somebody else. And then I realized I needed help. So what I did was I reached out and I called my employee assistance program, and I spoke to somebody for about an hour and a half. You know, and, you know, they talked me through, you know, getting some help, set up some counseling, you know, for me to work through some of the issues that I was. And that really helped me in my life. And it's there for everybody. The other thing is that, you know, one of the companies I work for, unfortunately, we had 3 suicides in a period of 2 years. And so I was a global safety person, but I had an office at one of the facilities. So what I did was, you know, I knew everybody in the plant, okay? And that type of industry, they hired a lot of vets. You know, people that had been in the war. These guys had 3, 4, 5 tours over in Afghanistan and Iraq. And, you know, anybody that grew up in the Vietnam era, you know, that guys that were in battle that came back, you know, they just, times they didn't seem right. Well, the same thing with some of these guys as well. Anyway, there was a father-son that that worked at the facility, and I got to know them very well. I was more friends with the son. We always kid around. We had this kind of relationship. And one day the Pennsylvania State Troopers showed up, and they came to the door, and they came in, and they came into my office, and they told me that the dad had committed suicide. Well, it hit me very hard. And then the hardest thing for me was that we had to tell his son. So the kid come up in my office, and we told him that his dad had died. I ended up holding him and crying with him, for a period of time. So when that kind of stuff hits you face to face, it affects your heart, it affects your mind, it affects your soul. So listen, the Employee Assistance Program is there for you, to help your family. There's no big brother watching you. Nobody's listening in. The only thing the company gets is a count. How many people have called in? Who's used it? For a count, so we know that people are using this benefit that they have. It's all confidential. It's not about being macho. Like I said, everybody goes through issues in their life: financial, legal, family, kids. Some of us are in the sandwich generation where you still have kids living at home, and you have to take care of your older, your parents that have moved back, and then find, the money aspects of it. So please, by all means, I'm reaching out to you to say, please, if you have opportunity to use it, please do. We're all dealing with different type of stresses, especially in these tough times. So I want you to take a look, and here's the number. It's on the screen. I'm just messing with you. Actually, the number for our Employee Assistance Program through Anthem is 800-841-5144. So please write that number down. It's on it's on the CRH webpage. And then the other thing is, if somebody's having a tough time, the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, 1-800-273-TALK or 8255. Please utilize these numbers. Please utilize these services. They're there for you and for your family. I also attached a video. Another epidemic that we deal with in this country is opioids. So what I've done this week is I've attached a short video that I'd like you to watch in dealing with the opioid epidemic, and also show it to your family. It's there. The deaths have risen over this great tragedy that people don't even realize. People are handing out the pain medications to different people in their families. People are taking it. Grandkids are taking it from their grandparents. So please, by all means, if you're taking pain medication, think about what you're taking and what you do to safeguard it. So I know it sounds like it was a big downer, but listen, it's really, really an important message. And I care about all of you very, very much, and Tilcon New York cares about all of you very, very much, and that's important. You're our biggest asset. So with all of that, I want everybody to have a safe and enjoyable 4th of July weekend. Enjoy Tilcon New York, and take care.